Oh hi, okay, so the title is not exactly true, although it's also not exactly not true. So let's get into this. Last week, news broke that Viacom had bought VidCon, which is kind of hilarious because I can remember a time when Hank Green, the creator of VidCon, said this. Viacom! Listen, I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to huge business conglomerates. A business conglomerate once killed my father. He got better, but it still wasn't a great experience. Look at this. I have an iPhone, an Apple Watch, AirPods, and the withered heart of Steve Jobs, don't ask. So it's not like I love hating companies. But in the early days of YouTube, and I'm talking 2007, it was really easy to hate Viacom. This was the company that was trying to take down the website and wanted Google to hand over records of every person who had ever watched a video. Which did happen. And at the time, the internet and Google and especially YouTube seemed revolutionary. This was the time where people legitimately were filming in their basements and being innovative and only sometimes tasering dead animals. If you've been on the internet for any amount of time, you might be familiar with this chart. It shows how 10 companies essentially own all the food, beauty, and medicine that you can buy at the store. The buying store. The same thing exists for the media you consume, it just doesn't have a nice little graph that I could find on the internet. 6 companies own 90% of the media that you can watch, and that's shrunking even further now that Disney has bought 20th Century Fox. Call me naive or a Pollyanna, just don't call me late for dinner, but I like the idea of small businesses, which individual YouTube channels essentially are. They have that feeling of community. They're not just part of some billionaire's portfolio. The ideas and innovations and pieces of art should mean something, or at least I think so. Online video and podcasts are definitely my 2 biggest passions currently, and podcasts in particular definitely feel like YouTube felt back in 2007 when Hank was yelling at Viacom. Viacom! Alright, they are scrappy, niche, and creatively exciting. When it comes to online video, great stuff is absolutely still being made. It just feels like it's gotten more aligned with movies and television instead of the alternative that I once thought it was going to be. Many videos just leave me feeling corporately cold. I mentioned a few videos ago when I reached 1,000 subscribers that I had been to every single VidCon. I respect Hank Green a lot, even though we've only had 2 super brief real-life conversations. I look to him as a mentor, and he's always the guy who I want to hear his point of view when the latest YouTube crisis occurs. Hank made a video on his personal channel about this deal, and the big takeaway that I had is that the Viacom of 2018 is no longer the Viacom of 2007. That the people in charge apparently know more about online video than people of a big conglomerate should. But it still feels weird, and it's probably going to get weirder. Okay, well, not that weird. Acquisitions are going to continue to happen, mergers are going to occur, Viacom and others like it are going to keep buying the things that I love. Perhaps Apple will buy Netflix, or Google and Amazon will merge together, or Elon Musk will enter into a common law relationship with Mars. Our entertainment is going to get folded into bigger companies. The positive spin on this, hopefully, is that more creators can pursue their passions. They can get bigger budgets, they can hire staff, and interact with fans. This also means that the divide between fan and creator is going to get ever wider. At the very first VidCon, I remember hanging out with some of the top stars. Now there's security and lineups to get autographs. This is a very fast-paced industry that is changing all the time. And I also understand that this may come across as an old man yelling at a cloud being like, back in my day, we watched 480p video and we liked it. Spoiler alert, nobody liked it. VidCon is no longer just a fan convention. This is a place where deals happen, where industry folk come to network, and where there's exclusive after parties where fans are not invited. And perhaps that was always inevitable. The same thing is going to happen with podcasts, that's probably true. I just don't have to like it. But what do you think? Am I overreacting? Is there a silver lining that I'm not exploring? Are conglomerates good? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kyle. I upload videos every Monday and Thursday. If you like this video, tell somebody about it. You can also support me by going over to my Patreon page, and for as little as $1 a month, help me out over there. I wonder if Viacom would ever want to buy me out. I'd be a terrible investment.